Hello ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Fosman Twain. My name is Cattoons. Recently I watched the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and I really did like it, but I don't really think it was all that amazing. I think the first movie was better as just an actual film. I had a great time watching this. I brought a whole bunch of friends with me. Hell, I even fucking dressed up. I got the stupid popcorn bucket that looks awesome. Like, I was really excited to watch this movie, and I'm not gonna say my hype was disappointed, because the whole time I had a big smile on my face. I was enjoying the whole movie very fondly. Like, it was a really fun time. The fan service moments were great. The acting was really fun, and honestly, the casting was just really good. And all the cast just seems to be really nice people, so I just kind of like these people a lot. The set design was really good, a lot better than the first movie. The practical effects were really good, just like the first movie. The toys and wizards look amazing. The soundtrack is really good, just like the first movie as well. The story is definitely weaker than the first movie. I think the first movie was more like cleaner of a story. I like the first movie's narrative a lot more than this one, and I think that's one of the things I've just kind of had the biggest issue on is the narrative of this movie. Not that the narrative's bad, but there's just certain decisions I'll get into later I'm just not the biggest fan of. As much as I did enjoy it and had a great time with it, but I did find a lot of parts lacking and personally just stuff I just wasn't all that big of a fan of. A lot of directions I just don't like inherently at all. I guess I'm happy to know a few of my predictions are right. I did make a video I think 2 weeks ago now about it. If you want to watch it for some god knows reason, here it is. I really enjoyed the film. I don't know if it's going to be everyone's thing. I could see like overall really positive reception, which I kind of have been hearing recently, but I also could just see a lot of just very mixed and very divisive reception on it, but I would say it's still worth checking out the film. Sure, the Rotten Tomatoes scores and critics are really fucking bad, but sure, the first movie's score was really bad, and I really liked it. And obviously, like, sound like a Twitter person that repeats the same thing. Critic opinions don't always matter. I mean, to be fair, fucking Morbius got a higher, like, critical score than this movie, and there's no fucking way this movie's worse than Morbius. I don't know, maybe Morbius just stays winning, alright? But yeah, like, spoiler-free stuff, recommend checking the movie out. I enjoyed it a lot. Be wary that a good chunk of your predictions are gonna be wrong about this film. It's gonna go in a lot of directions a lot of people didn't see coming. It's going to be really out there. There's a lot of goofy stuff, but it's also pretty cool at the same time. So yeah, that's my spoiler-free thing. But yeah, you got to get out if you don't want to watch. If you want to be spoiler-free, get the fuck out now.
I always thought I might be back.
Spoiler talk. I was right about a few predictions in my prediction video, specifically the Unwithereds. Well, not Unwithereds, because the Unwithereds, technically, I was wrong. They wouldn't have existed because they were necessarily not finished, but they are not the same set of animatronics as the first movie. A lot of people, for some reason, in circles I was in, were calling me fucking stupid for thinking the Wizards and the Fnaf 1 cast were not going to be related at all in this movie. I didn't even think they were going to be possessed. I thought they were just going to be robots, and yes, they were just robots. I really liked how the Wizards look too. Same thing with the toys. I prefer how the toys look a little bit more just because I think they're I just like their designs overall more than the FNAF, than just the Wizards. The FNAF 1 cast is always going to be my favorite set, but I think the toys is a very close second. I was right about the whole Michael thing, even though that necessarily wasn't a prediction of mine. I just literally heard the leak and just rolled with it and tried to make some ideas about it. I was wrong about the whole idea of that the puppet and Michael were going to be working together. They really aren't necessarily. I will say, I don't like the Mike plot. I don't like the Michael Afton plot. I think having two Michaels is kind of a little bit goofy. I've always kind of thought that. And I've been trying to look on the lighter side about it and trying to come up with ideas about it, but I don't know. I didn't like the execution of it. I think it's a bit silly, especially because I'm just remembering the fact that this doesn't feel like the same character from the games. Sure, Michael Afton isn't the most developed character from the game universe at all. There's a lot of points of him that is of just a blank canvas, but everything we know about him, he resembles more of Michael Smith than he does Michael Afton in the movie. Game Mike just resembles a lot more of that, and I don't know if I like that. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of it. And like I said, I think it's straight up that he's sued, the adaptation of the characters, the game Mike is kind of split into a few different people. I don't think it's Vanessa anymore. I'll get into that. But I think he's split into I guess Michael Afton and Mike Smith. But I think Michael Smith just fits everything we know about him a lot more. This feels like the more proper take on this character, if you ask me. And maybe that's just my headcanon, taking over how I view things, because it was always how they depicted Michael Smith in the first movie was always how I depicted Michael Afton from the games in my head. So maybe my headcanon's taking over and I'm being unfair here, but I genuinely think Michael Schmidt is the more of the game parallel than the actual one that's named Michael Afton. Also, one thing about it for sure, I could see them doing some idea that Michael was definitely not loved by William in this timeline either at all, because Vanessa was clearly his favorite and he seems to be very jealous by that in this film. So I could see probably William, well, not shocked, being abusive towards him too. It's almost like William Afton is an evil man. Though I did say in my theory that I also thought Vanessa was a parallel to Game Mike. I actually don't think that in any way. I think if anything she's, well, one, still a parallel to Game Vanessa, but also she's an extreme parallel also to Elizabeth from the games, because, well, she has kind of ties to fucking Baby. Like, obviously Baby's in this movie and I was blown away by that. Like, I genuinely wasn't expecting that at all. Like, I'm very glad I didn't get spoiled on that. I got spoiled by a very few things because people will just post stuff almost immediately. Don't check social media when you want to watch a movie. My friends were talking about seeing Baby as like, oh, they're guaranteed gonna make a Sister Location movie, and I don't necessarily think they're gonna make a Sister Location movie or the Fun Times are gonna be relevant to the movie universe at all. At least in some ways. I think it's gonna still try to be wrapped up by the third movie, but I think putting Baby here is like an opening, like keeping the door open for more if they want to do more after Free. But I do think Free is going to be the intended, like, at least closing of this chapter of the story. At least a good enough of a conclusion. But yeah, I don't think this confirms that Baby is going to be, like, important in the next movie at all. I'm very impressed that they were going to put Baby in at all, because I genuinely thought, like, those designs were just not going to make it in the movie universe, because I thought they were really out there, at least for, like, general audiences. Like I said, I was really thinking... I was thinking for a while that the movie universe was going to be the more streamlined version of the game universe. It's going to be the more cleaner timeline. And I don't think it is anymore. It's very much very out there, very more convoluted than I was expecting. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I really wish the movie was a lot more of a streamlined version. But I'm not going to sit here and cry and act like it's the end of the world. It's a direction I wish they went, but it doesn't ruin the movie that it's the direction they went. I guess there's never going to be an official timeline for Five Nights at Freddy's that is going to be the more cleaner timeline, and I guess that's fine. I don't know, just the way the movie was structured, I just thought it was going to be the more simpler timeline. And honestly, I think the fact that the first movie was so much more simpler made me think it's overall a better, like, story in a lot of places. This movie's a little bit too fast in a lot of places, and I know a lot of people think the first movie was way too slow, and I can see part of it why people think that. I personally like the pacing of the first movie a lot more than this one. And while we were technically on the moment for talking about Vanessa, I want to talk about this box that she had in her room. She has a box in the room that has all the toys of the dead kids William killed, and I honestly think this is my personal new headcanon, what the box actually is in the games. This wasn't my observation. Actually, a friend of mine, he came up with it. He was saying that probably the secret in the box this whole time was just all the toys of all the dead kids William killed. And I just think it's a good headcanon. There's no evidence behind it, but I feel like this was a good moment for me to just talk about it because I like this idea, and it's going to be my personal headcanon for what is inside the box. I'll say I'm very disappointed by the body count. Like I said, the kills we had were really cool and all. Like, I liked them, but it was really disappointing. The trailers really did make it out that there was going to be more violence than there really fucking was. Like, Toy Bonnie and Toy Freddy don't get a single kill off, and I'm not a big fan of that. The ones that get a kill are, the mangle kill was really cool. These puppet toys apparently fucking kill a guy. Okay. Toy Chica kills Abby's, like, science teacher, which the whole movie I was just thinking, what is this guy's fucking problem? But yeah, she kills him. He kind of deserved it. And I thought the kills were cool, but there just wasn't really enough, I guess. It was something I was really looking forward to seeing more in this movie when it was just really nothing there. The whole staff was saying how the movie was scarier this time, and then, like, I think it was. I don't know. It wasn't really all that scary, and that's not a deal breaker to me because I don't really find most horror movies scary to begin with. Like, it doesn't ruin my enjoyment of a horror movie if I just ain't scared at all, because I like a lot of my favorite horror movies I don't find scary. But I don't know. I don't really think it was at all any scarier than the original movie. I think it was there was more jump scares, but I don't think necessarily that made the movie scarier. I think actually the atmosphere was more set up in the first movie than this one. The puppet body snatching thing was really out there of a decision. I'm not going to say I necessarily think it's a bad one. It was something that caught me off guard, but I don't think it was bad in any way. I think it had some cool segments tied to it. Also, it's very deliberate that this is, I guess, is just a pseudo innard-like. I mean, like she is body snatching, but literally the first person she body snatch is like a paranormal group that's called the Scoopers. So yeah, like obviously there's some innard. Like, that's a pretty obvious, like, innard reference, and I thought that was kind of fun. Fan service in this movie is kind of awesome in a lot of places. Like, I had a big smile seeing the Candy's arcade machine, and a slightly less smile when I saw the Pop Goes machine. And I really liked how, as much as I just love seeing lines from the games be incorporated, like the fucking, like, puppet saying, like, I don't hate you, but you need to stay out of my way, or the, we found one, oh, real one, by the end of the movie. Like, I liked seeing that. I loved all the fan service. I fell for it. I'm a person who can't deny it. It worked on me. The part of the end of the movie where the fucking original animatronics come in and beat the shit out of all the toys is kind of goofy. It was cool, but it was really fucking funny. It reminded me a lot of those old Source Filmmaker animations of like the FNAF 1 cast and the FNAF 2 cast going at it and beating the shit out of each other. And it kind of reminded me a lot of that, but it was cool. It was really goofy looking. I mean, I'm not a big fan of animatronics save everyone. They move on. They move on this early in the story, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. I mean, I get what they're doing for it. It isn't bad what they took. Like, I thought the scene was kind of nice. I saw it was kind of sweet. Them saying how they'll see Abby one day in heaven. Like, it was cute. I really like them being gone this early in the story. And I know it's a movie. I know, like, the movie timeline's different from the game one. It's not going to have to be one-to-one at all. I'm not saying that. But I really kind of would have preferred them maybe moving on it free. I would have really liked to see Happiest Day be adapted. Personally, I was thinking Happiest Day would have been like a Mike Dream section from the first movie. I don't know. I really was going to like the idea. I was liking the idea of like giving the Golden Freddy kid at a birthday, and then the kids moved on. But I guess how they moved on here is, it's fine. They explain the reasoning and it makes sense, but it's a direction I just would have preferred the other way around than necessarily the one we had, but it didn't ruin the movie at all. Oh yeah, and I guess Toy Chica's a fucking spring lock or something. I don't fucking know what her deal is there. The movie does end off on a cliffhanger, and I think, unfortunately, this is going to be one of those movies that can heavily get, like, the way people look back on it could heavily be affected if the third movie lands or not. Because if it doesn't, then this cliffhanger pretty much means that people aren't going to really like this movie anymore because of that. So I could see that heavily affecting how people are. And I do have hope that Finance Phrase Free will be a good movie. I genuinely am very excited to see what it will go for. Especially because we see fucking Springtrap by the end of the movie. He looks great, by the way. Like, the little we see of him, really badass. Like, oh god, I can't wait to see how, like, they're gonna do the corpse thing and all that. Yeah, I don't know, really excited to see the third movie still. I have more things to say about this movie most likely, but I didn't write notes down. This is why you should write notes down, people. But I would say I really like the movie. Feel free to let me know all your opinions, any theories, any speculations you have. I might make an eventual, like, what I expect from Finance Phrase Free video one day. And until next time, see you all later. Bye.
It's time to go. Put on my suit, the makeup,